Hello and welcome to TB3 Sports Talk, episode 96, and we are thrilled and excited because this week the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play football, so we're going to give you everything you need to know about the 2025 Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this episode, the season preview, and then did you guys hear that? Me neither. I heard no fat lady singing. The Rays are still in the thick of it. And we have a huge episode. You know, we've had a lot of Debbie Downer episodes. But this week, I think we're going to have a exciting, hopeful episode. Boys, how are we feeling?
It's Troptober without the trop.
It's Stein-tober.
I was trying to think of one I got.
Stein-tober.
I didn't have nothing.
Brenner-tober. I don't know. We'll have to think of something. I'm just excited for the Buccaneers football season. I'm ready for the cannons to fire. I cannot wait. It's been a long off season, and this could be the year. This could be the year that we see another Bucs Super Bowl, and I'm confident in saying that. I really am.
So I learned a fun fact today. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the most bet team on Hard Rock to win the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And that's a cool stat until you realize that Hard Rock is a majority Florida.
It's only Florida, really.
It's only Florida, so it's like it's just Bucs fans.
Florida
make
people,
it a headline.
Florida people know ball.
Hey, they're believing. Yeah, Florida people know ball. Florida teams know ball. Tune in to TB3U. That'll be on your page too as well. But we're talking pro teams right now. We're talking Bucs. Will, my question to you is, who's on the Bucs right now? 2025, who's on the Bucs? Who do we got? If the people haven't been tuned in to Bucs offseason news, who can they expect to see on the field this Sunday, 1 p.m. against the Atlanta Falcons?
Yeah, I'll get into it here. I mean, kind of the same group from last year. You got Mike Evans as your receiver. You got Sterling Shepard. You got the rookie, Emeka Egbuka. You got Tez Johnson. So you got a lot of options there for Baker Mayfield. And we're not going to see Chris Godwin to start the season, but we do expect him to be back. And Jalen McMillan as well. We don't know really his return. He had a neck injury in preseason. But you still got your big dog. You still got Mike Evans. And I'm really excited for Egbuka, man. That could be Rookie of the Year. That could be the year NFL Rookie of the Year.
Just to stop you about Egbuka, just real quick, we, and even just the media in Tampa, are not the only ones that are bullish on Emeka Egbuka. You know, I like to listen to podcasts. I like to listen to a bunch of different ones, Tampa ones, but I listen to a lot of like national media, big podcasts, and everyone, and I mean everyone, is talking about Emeka Egbuka. They see the way that he's being talked about in training camp, and it's not just like a Bucs fans thing trying to, be excited about a first round pick. Like this is real hype around a rookie that could be an immediate, like, bona fide, impact maker from day one.
And I'm ready to eat a crow on that because you can go back, watch the draft episode. I wasn't super happy with their first round pick, but I mean, after watching the preseason and seeing the stuff from camp, I mean, this guy is special. He is very special, so I'm excited to see that.
We're always ready to eat a crow if we're being mean about Tampa sports. Like, I love to be wrong.
Sometimes I feel like when we're too negative, they prove us wrong.
Yeah.
When we're too positive, they let us down.
Yeah,
they let us down big time.
I agree.
It's like you kind of have to be sometimes like a little more on the negative side because then they end up doing good. Which we'll get to that in a little bit with the Rays. But yeah, Baker Mayfield, he returns as your starting quarterback, backed up by Teddy Bridgewater. No Kyle Trask. Bucs let him go, which we can get to that too. I don't know if I'm happy about that. Cade Ottinger, tight end, with Payne Durham, O'Keefe, and Devin Culp, the same group there from last year. Tristan Wirfs will not play in this game at left tackle. It's going to be Charlie Heck, but then you got your rest of the crew there, Ben Bredesen at left guard, Graham Barton, Cody Mauch, Luke Gedeke, going from left to right there. Then your defense, man, Elijah Cansey, Logan Hall, Yaya Diaby, and Hassan Reddick, kind of on your front four, your defensive line. Is there any word on Vita Vea? I saw some rumors.
Vita Vea has missed the past 2 days of practice with a foot injury. Not exactly sure of the severity. I know the Bucs are pretty willing to rest their veterans, especially if they're a little banged up. They have not had a ruling about his status on Sunday. I'm assuming he'll be a game-time decision. Vita Vea always seems to get banged up, but he usually seems to play through those injuries. But, yeah, not exactly sure what the foot injury is. but he has missed the past 2 days of practice, including today, which is on Thursday, September 4th.
Yeah, it's something to keep an eye on then. You might see a lot of Greg Gaines, which 96,
Or-
Greg Gaines episode.
Nice. Chills. Or, like, I know this isn't the same type of player as Vita Vea, but might see a little bit more Elijah Roberts
Yeah.
if Vita Vea is
That's
out.
another one.
Yeah.
Elijah Roberts, yeah.
Excited about him.
Then we get to our linebackers here. Servache Dennis, starting linebacker. Come on. Can he stay healthy? We really need him to stay healthy. I think he's an important piece for our defense. You got Levante David, the GOAT, the LeBron of your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's returning as well. Then we got our cornerbacks here. Jamel Dean. Zion McCollum. Backing up by Josh Hayes, Kendall Vildor. Kind of excited to see what he could do in the game.
Very good preseason.
Jacob Parrish at your nickel. Then we got the safeties, Antoine Winfield Jr.
You forgot one. Ben Morrison.
Ben Morrison. Yeah.
Rookie. He's back at practice this week.
That is good.
Yeah.
He's still questionable, though. That's why I didn't mention him.
Okay.
And you got Antoine Winfield, Tyke Smith. I mean, come on, man. Got to see improvement from the defense. Got to see a lot of turnovers. But I think we might have the right group to do it. Should I go special
They keep up what they're doing in the preseason. It could happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, a lot of turnovers forced in the preseason. Some positive, players in the preseason. Well, I don't know if we had you on for any preseason. I know I think we missed an episode of the preseason, and then I don't even know how many games we covered.
I didn't cover any.
I don't think you covered.
It's kind of been like a really
it's
busy
been summer. Summer's crazy.
Busy 3 weeks. But
Yeah, summer's crazy.
I was watching.
Yeah. Will, is there any preseason takeaways that you want to mention before we get into the season ahead?
Probably not.
That's all right. That's all good.
Kendall Vildor, I loved the
looked really good. Jacob Parrish, I think he stood out on film every single game. He was really good.
I expect Tez Johnson to return one punt for a touchdown this year.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of
he's gonna
surprised. He started off second in the punt returning. Cameron Johnson is the first string punt returner right now.
He's gonna get in there though.
I think so
He's
too.
gonna get in.
I think it's a little bit of he muffed that one against Pittsburgh, so I think there's a little bit of maybe that's kind of holding them back. But just I guess some kitchen cleaning. What's the word I was looking for? I don't know. Housekeeping. Wow. Okay. Just some housekeeping. The Bucs did have to part with a few of their longtime players or some notable players that are on the team. They had to cut. Some of them came back on the practice squad. Like a guy like Bryce Hall, they had to cut, but he's back on the practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple guys, Kyle Trask, Trey Palmer, some people that we've seen on the Bucs for a few years are cut. Not with the team anymore. So I don't know. Any specific thoughts on this? I personally, you know me, I am Kyle Trask's #1 fan. I think the Bucs made the right choice. I think Teddy Bridgewater is the more serviceable backup, unfortunately, and I just don't think Kyle Trask showed the improvement that he needed to show throughout his tenure as a Buc.
I think it was the right decision, but again, it's just criminal what we did to him in the years past. It's like we never gave him a chance, and then it's like, sorry, bro, you're 27, 28, and you got nothing.
I agree. We botched his development under Brady. We should have been a little bit more firm. I know a lot of it comes from Brady, but we should have been a little bit more firm in having Brady mentor him and having Trask really get more playing time during that era. Is just my opinion.
Yeah, that's a problem. Brady wasn't really a developmental guy. That's not kind of the veteran you want for your young, prospect. But I think it was the wrong decision. I think it was completely wrong. Heaven forbid Baker Mayfield goes down, because I have no faith in Teddy Bridgewater. I don't care. He had a decent preseason, but watch when that dude has been a starter in the past couple seasons on various different teams. I think primarily the Broncos. I pray Baker doesn't go down, because I don't have faith in Bridgewater. He can do anything he wants in the preseason, but I felt more comfortable with Kyle Trask. I remember when Baker went down against the Colts and he came in and he did just fine. I think he knows the offense better than Bridgewater. And I just think a lot of the times with his preseason reps, he doesn't get the best guys out there. He, I look at the Steelers game when Bridgewater went with the ones, and there was a lot of starters out there. He got Jalen McMillan hurt, throwing a hospital ball to him. and then Kyle Trask, goes with the 2s and the 3s. It's kind of hard to say like, oh, well, Bridgewater looks so much better than him. I think it was a terrible move by the Bucs.
That's fair. I think it was kind of pick your poison. I think Teddy Bridgewater has not looked impressive in his other stops, but Kyle Trask really has never looked impressive in the pros. Like, again, I think he's had some solid preseason games, but again, Kyle Trask.
He's been a Buck for a while. He's got chemistry with these guys.
But to be fair,
want him in there.
Another counterpoint would be Teddy Bridgewater did spend time with Josh Grizzard in Miami. I think some of that familiarity back there kind of helped him out. At the end of the day, I don't think the Bucs are in a good position with a backup quarterback, whether it's Trask or Bridgewater anyways. So you definitely want to, like, I think it's fair to say that the Bucs have one of the weaker backup quarterback positions in the NFL. But Baker's been an Iron Man. So Baker's a warrior, so let's just hope he continues to be a warrior. And that's that. Yeah, so let's move on to the season. So let's move on to some defining storylines of the season. I'll go first, just to let you guys think of some defining storylines. For me, I'm going to start with... What am I going to start with? I'm going to start with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield coming off a phenomenal season. I think, 4,000 passing yards, 40 touchdowns. Really, really good stuff from Baker. Actually, it might have been 3,500. Anyways, Baker Mayfield, really, really, phenomenal season. But I think that Baker Mayfield, last year was one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL when it came to turnovers. And I think turnovers and cutting back turnovers are a huge key for Baker Mayfield. If he can cut those turnovers simply in half, and input about half the turnovers he did last year, I think the Buccaneers will win 2 or 3 extra games just because of how volatile their offense was due to some of the turnovers. And I think if Baker Mayfield can continue the production, which I see no reason why he can't, continue to throw the ball. He has great receivers. He has a great offensive line, great running backs with him, an offensive coordinator that's his first year calling plays, but he was with him last year. He was helping the Bucs be the number 1 third down offense in the NFL. Remember that Josh Grizzard was huge on third down for the Bucs last year, one of their key voices for third down play calling, and the Bucs were number 1 in the NFL. I think one of the best. I think I saw a stat they were one of like 4 or 5 teams ever to have that high of a percentage on third down in a full entire season. So I think there's no reason for Baker Mayfield to scale back his production, but I do think that if he can scale back those turnovers, it could take the Bucs defense from very, very good to absolutely elite and maybe the best in the NFL. Joel, is there any key storyline you're thinking for the Bucs this season?
Is this the year that Father Time catches up with Levante David? It's destined to happen at some point, and I mean, like, it could happen overnight. That's something to be watching for. Kind of scary. I think the defense could step up around him if he does begin to kind of age out of the prominent role that he has right now, so we'll see.
Well,
my biggest one is Hassan Reddick. I think Hassan Reddick absolutely needs to be the leader in sacks in this team and pressures and all that stuff. He has to be the guy that we're expecting him to be. The Bucs last year, they were 6th in sacks in the NFL, but that was led mostly by your interiors, Vita Vea and Clyde Cansey, which is good. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but we need more presence on the edges. That includes, Yaya Diaby, Chris Braswell. We need to see those guys step up, but primarily it comes with your big dog, Hassan Reddick. And say what you will, it was kind of a gamble with his season with the Jets. It wasn't great, but 2 years ago, 27 sacks in 2 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles. We are really expecting him to be back to that. At least I am expecting him to be back to that, Philadelphia Eagles form. But it is an absolute must that he is an animal for this defense, for the Bucs to succeed.
And I'll stay with the defense. Another storyline I'm looking for in this 2025 Bucs season is the secondary. Last year, the secondary was battered with injuries and also battered with struggles. I'm looking at guys who were banged up the entire year. Antoine Winfield, Jamel Dean. These guys, even you think of Jordan Whitehead, he was injured a lot. So a little bit of a shuffle. One storyline for the Buccaneers secondary is Tyke Smith going from the nickel to the safety position alongside Antoine Winfield. And then you have some rookies stepping in. You have the Jacob Parrish. You have the Benjamin Morrison, who we have not seen yet. Can these rookies be effective immediately? I know Jacob Parrish will probably be your day 1 starting nickel. He's going to have to play a big role. He looks ready to me. I think he's going to be a game changer for the Bucs defense. But can these rookies in the secondary, be ready to step up and play big roles and big snaps for the Buccaneers. And then on the flip side, the veterans. I'm talking about Jamel Dean and Antoine Winfield. Can you stay healthy? I mean, especially for Antoine Winfield, I think that guy's one of, if not one of the best, probably the best safety in the NFL and one of the best defensive players in the NFL when he is fully healthy. He was banged up last season. He played hurt. He was not the right guy. Can Antoine Winfield get back to the dominant force he was in 2023? That will be a huge key for the Bucs defense. And then Jamel Dean. What are we going to see from him? Is Jamel Dean going to be healthy? Is Jamel Dean going to be the starter, or is he going to get his spot taken? Is Jamel Dean going to play like he's so up and down? What is Jamel Dean going to be? Is Benjamin Morrison going to be good enough to take his spot? That's the question that I have. Bucs secondary, very volatile, but I'm thinking I really like the depth that this team has in the secondary, and I'm hoping it's going to be a stronger year for them in 2025. Anything else?
Make sure Mike Evans gets 1,000 yards again.
Yep.
Is this the first year where we have the time manager guy or whatever?
I don't know.
I mean that we got one. I don't remember if we got him last year or this year, but that will be fun to watch. As the game management manager, I think is his title. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, and then I guess we can go into the Todd Bowles discussion. I mean, obviously, I think we are a podcast that's been split on Todd Bowles. I'm
a believer.
He's a believer. Joel is a bull denier. And I have, flipped back and forth. But for Todd Bowles, what?
You love him.
I do love him. I do love him. And right now I do love him. But Todd Bowles, every single year he's been on 8-9, 9-8, 10-7 last year. Won the NFC South every single year. But what?
He's getting better.
Well,
he's getting better.
You want to hear his name? It's Zach Blesdine.
Zach Blesdine, the
yes.
time game manager.
Yeah, he was hired in March.
There we go. So that could be huge.
Yeah.
I have heard about more NFL teams doing the game manager to help that judge. But anyways, Todd Bowles steadily improving every single season. But now, in this podcast we have mentioned a bunch of times what Todd Bowles was left with in 2022. A roster full of old players and salary cap hell. A team that was not really equipped to win, and Todd Bowles has still been able to win, hover around, win a bad division. I mean, a couple years in the playoffs, you might not be in the playoffs in a different division, but you're in the playoffs anyways. And last season, you go 10-7, but there's definitely some games and some stuff that I think a lot of people said was left to be desired. So Todd Bowles, what does Todd Bowles have to do in 2025 to either, let's say, win the fans, keep his job? Like, what are you guys looking for Todd Bowles in 2025?
Well, I think, first and foremost, you got to win the playoff or get to the playoffs. Sorry, you have to be a playoff team. I think that's absolutely a must, barring some crazy injuries. Let's say, I don't know, like I said, like Baker goes down, something big like that. But other than that, he has to make the playoffs. I think that is an absolute must. And, kind of going off what you said, I mean, the NFC South might be a bad division, but this is still the NFL, and he still had to win the games to get there. So that can't be, understated what he's done as a Bucs head coach, kind of with, getting it just thrown on to his lap, a dumpster fire, really, after that 2021 season. I think he's got to go to the playoffs. I think at least 10-7. I think probably a division title is another must. You have to win the division again. And I think it really doesn't. I don't know if you win the division, I don't think it matters your record per se. I think as long as you just win there, guarantee yourself a playoff spot. I think he's okay in that aspect. I don't know what the fans would complain about. I would be disappointed to go like 9-8, but you get back to the playoffs. I think you got to win at least a playoff game though too. It really depends on some of the matchups. But at least just getting to the dance, I think, is enough for me.
I think at this point, I think that the Glazers really like Todd Bowles, and I don't think he can really do them any wrong. So I'll say as long as they're 9-8 or 8-9 playoffs or not, I think they keep him around.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys. I think Todd Bowles. Okay. I don't know if Todd Bowles gets fired for 8-9 or 9-8, but his seat gets really, really warm if he goes that record. I think for me, for Todd Bowles and his 2025 Buccaneers, anything less than double-digit wins, in my opinion, is a disappointing season. The talent is there. The depth is there. The quarterback is there. It really is all there. And, if you don't get double-digit wins, it would be a major disappointment of the season, in my opinion. And I think that once you get to the playoffs, especially like Will mentioned, if you win the division and you get another home playoff game, you got to take care of business. You really do. I was really, I know Jaden Daniels and the Commanders made it to the NFC Championship game, but that was a really disappointing loss, a loss that really just doesn't sit right with the fans. I'm sure it doesn't sit right with the teams. It doesn't sit right with us. That was definitely a disheartening loss in the playoffs, and I think the Bucs have to at least erase that. And
I mean, it stunk at the moment, but after watching him destroy the Lions, it made me feel a little better.
I don't know, but it's just like, I don't know.
They killed them.
Yeah, but then they get smoked by the Eagles, and I don't know.
But the Eagles, I mean, I don't know.
The Eagles were good, but again, but you know how the Bucs play the Eagles. If the Bucs were able to get to the Eagles, I don't know. I just think the way it went down, the poor defense, the third down conversions, the fumble on the jet sweep, like just that kind of stuff, and losing because of that kind of stuff. It was just it's a loss that sticks with me. But yeah, I think double-digit wins and a playoff win is what I would need to be satisfied with Todd Bowles and the 2025 Bucs. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I just think just get to the playoffs. That's one thing. It really depends on how the season goes. I'd say the expectations get higher the more they win. Because again, we don't know how the South is going to work out this year. I think at least last year, it was pretty obvious that the Bucs were clearly the best team in the division by a long shot. I mean, once the Falcons started to fizzle out, but this year, I mean, the Panthers could be better. The Falcons could be a lot better, and we're going to find out, kind of what that team is going to be on Sunday. So I think it's a little different this year because I think you might have some more competition in your division to where maybe you do just sneak into the playoffs, but that's mostly because your division got a lot better compared to years prior.
Fair. All right, so before we get into our record predictions, we did some of this when the original record or schedule came out, but we're going to play a new little game. I saw this in a column for college football, but we're going to do it for the Bucs. It's going to be an if game, so an if statement. So the first if statement will be, and I'm going to you, Joel, first. The Buccaneers in 2025 will make the playoffs if. Oh, also one rule is saying the team needs to stay healthy is not an acceptable answer in this exercise because everyone needs their team to stay healthy to win. So the Buccaneers will make the 2025 playoffs, Joel, if
the defensive line plays up to the expectations that we have for them.
Okay. Will, you want to go or do you, me?
Yeah, I think they will get to playoffs if the defense takes a giant leap. I think if they can be plus in the turnover ratio, I think that's very important. Turnovers have to go up from years prior. That's a big one. And I think if you can beat the Falcons twice, you're a lock for the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. My answer was gonna be if Baker Mayfield has less turnovers than he did in 2024 and 2025. Turnovers are huge. I think the defense there. All right. Next question. The Buccaneers will win a playoff game if. Will, I'm going to go to you first. One answer. You gave me like 3 answers last time around.
There's a lot of ifs.
There's a lot of ifs, but
they'll win a playoff game. Depends on who they play, but yeah, I think it really comes down to defense. I'm not worried about the offense at all. I think the big thing is defense. I think if you're top 10 in sacks again, your edges are doing good, and again you're creating turnovers, especially in the secondary, you'll win a playoff game that way. I think the offense will get you enough points no matter what. It really comes down to the defense.
I'm going to say if coaching handles the game well and they make the right moves and they play the game like it should be, a proper game of chess, we can win the blowout, but I don't know if this team is capable of winning the close games. So if coaching goes well and we say at the end of the year, coaching finally figured it out, game management has been great, I think that's when we could win a playoff game.
Okay, I'm going to say the Buccaneers win a playoff game if Hassan Reddick and Yaya Diaby combine for 17 sacks on the season. If they're given that type of production from the edge, I think the Bucs defense will be mightily improved. All right. Next question. The Buccaneers will make the conference championship game if I will start. I'm going to say, what am I going to say? I'm going to say the Buccaneers will make the conference championship game if Antoine Winfield is a top 3 safety in the NFL. Also, if Emeka Egbuka is, I'm cheating. Antoine Winfield, top 3 safety in the NFL. Joel?
Baker Mayfield has the best season of his entire career.
I think
That's fair.
I think it's pretty simple. If you win the division, I think the Bucs are set up pretty well if they can do that. You're going to get a home game or maybe even 2. It depends on what the playoff picture looks like. But I think winning your division, I think you have a good shot, and I think the Bucs have a chip on their shoulder to get there.
All right. Last one. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win the Super Bowl if. Will, I'll go to you first.
Bucs will get to a Super Bowl. Yeah, I think as long as they don't take a step back from last season, I think it is going to be tough. Grizzard, you still have a new guy calling plays, but I think both sides of the ball improved. As long as you're not taking any giant steps back, I don't see any reason why this team couldn't get to the Super Bowl.
Wow. Okay, don't take a giant step back. That's crazy. Joel, are you ready?
If the offensive line is the best aspect of the team, if Graham Barton becomes like a super center, I think we win the Super Bowl easy.
I will say this. I think if the Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Emeka Egbuka trio is at full capacity and full danger, meaning Mike Evans 1,000 yards, Emeka Egbuka around 1,000 yards, and Chris Godwin around 800, and they're playing to their full capabilities and the ball's being spread around, the Buccaneers will win the Super Bowl. And that being said, Joel, I think you said 11-6.
Sounds right, yeah.
Are you sticking with 11-6 with the Bucs?
A little bit too many injuries are stacking up. I'm going to shave a game. I'm going to go 10-7.
10-7. Well, I think you said 11-6.
I also said 11-6,
Okay.
and I'm sticking with it.
I said 12-5, and I'm sticking with it. I love this Bucs. I love the free agent acquisition of Hassan Reddick. I love it. So, in order to get to 10-7, or in order to get to 11-6, or in order to get to 12-5, that first game of the season is always important. And this first game of the season for the Bucs is kind of amplified because it's a road game against the division opponent, the Atlanta Falcons, a team that beat the Buccaneers twice last season, a team that is, looking to take the next step and, compete for that NFC South, something that they've kind of fizzled out in the last 2 seasons when they've been kind of close to competing. Will, how do you feel about this game? Any keys or storylines you're watching?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a tough game for the Buccaneers, but I also think it's really going to give us kind of a view of how this season is going to go down. I think this is by far your toughest. This is by far any team, I guess, has been tough for the Bucs in the last couple of years. I know losing to Atlanta twice is kind of crazy saying that, but I mean, once Kirk Cousins started fizzling out, you knew that their season was over, and I just think there's a lot of stuff that could have gone the Bucs' way in both of those games. You look at the one at home. I mean, that was clearly a fumble that just didn't get called. And then you look at the one on Thursday night.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
the Bucs had 100 opportunities to win and really lost by their own mistakes. It was really their own mistakes. So I still think, if those games are played 100 times, I think Bucs win, 95 of them. But this year, I think the Falcons got a lot better. I think Michael Penix is a very good quarterback. I think that defense, especially, looking into some of what at least Falcons media is saying, I think they're pretty confident about their defense. I think they think their defense got a lot better from last year, too. So it's going to be a tough game. What else do you want me to say?
That's all right. I mean, we can move it on.
I got a couple keys there. Or should I save them?
Couple key. Well, let's Joel. Any initial thoughts on this Falcons game?
How's the team going to gel? Like, I know we didn't really play too much starters in the preseason. Like, I feel like, I don't know, this might just be me. I think we played like less than a usual team would. So how are we going to gel together as a complete team, everybody on the field at the same time?
Agreed. Obviously, this is the first time the Bucs have seen Michael Penix. They saw Kirk Cousins both times last season. 30-plus points allowed in both games against the Falcons last season. That was really when the Bucs defense was at its worst. I mean, the Kirk Cousins swag surfing game, Thursday Night Football, lives rent-free in my head. I mean, that was just a horrible game to watch, just terrible defensive effort. And I think the Falcons really utilized the middle of the field against the Buccaneers last year a lot. I mean, I think Kyle Pitts might have had the two best games of his career against the Buccaneers last year in both those games. So I think Buccaneers defensively, some keys to the game is going to be that nickel position or that middle of the field coverage. So nickel position, that'll be Jacob Parrish. How is he able to cover up against those slot receivers? And then I also look at guys like Levante David and, more importantly, Servache Dennis. Servache Dennis had a really good coverage grade against the when he was in and not when he was healthy last season. I think his coverage grade was it was 74.6 according to PFF. So Servache Dennis is a much better cover corner than Levante David is at this stage of his career, and he's far better than what KJ Britt was last year for the Buccaneers. So Servache Dennis being able to cover and kind of solidify the middle of the field, I think will make this Falcons offense far less effective. And I think obviously, Falcons' number one priority on offense is going to be running the football. They have Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. They're going to try to establish the run. They did a pretty solid job doing that against the Buccaneers last season. And I think that if the Buccaneers are able to kind of just keep up their run defense, Levante David, Vita Vea, Kalijah Cansey, Logan Hall, these guys are really, really good in the run game. If they're able to make Michael Penix have to beat him throwing, I don't think Michael Penix can do it. I really don't. Michael Penix is prone to interception, and I think the Buccaneers will be able to get a couple in this game on Sunday.
Yeah, I think you really want to get them into throwing the ball more than not. You want to take out Bijan Robinson. But, yeah, I think corners are especially important in this game just because of, you look at last year, 742 passing yards allowed combined in both those games, nearly 1,000. I think that's something that the Bucs defense wants to forget. I think I'm really looking at Zion McCollum with how he did last year. I would like to see him do that again. He's probably going to be matched up with Drake London a bunch, so that's going to be a matchup to look out for. I think, one thing, too, is the Falcons are without their right tackle. He went down pretty recently, and
so excuse me, but I think they're without their right tackle and their backup right tackle.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
They are. And this, they kind of had to scramble. They picked up Elijah Wilkerson, who has some NFL experience. But, hey, come on, man, that's something for the Bucs to exploit. Whether it be Yaya Diaby lining up on that side or Hassan Reddick, you got to get home. You got to get after Penix because that's a huge weakness the Falcons have, and you need to exploit it. Also, on the other side, I mean, again, I'm not too worried about the Bucs offense. I think they're going to do their thing. The Falcons do have a new defensive coordinator. So that's something to keep an eye out on, too. How's he going to do in his first game calling plays, and how's that defense going to look?
And the Bucs do have a new offensive coordinator. It's going to be Josh Grizzard's debut as Buccaneers play caller.
It's going to be a Grizzard, though, man. It's going to be a Glizzard.
Yeah. New nickname before the first game of the season?
Getting grizzy with it. But, yeah, so how is that offense going to compare to the Liam Cohen offense? I think just watching preseason, a lot more under center, it seems like, in the Josh Grizzard system. Duval. But, just what's that going to look like? How is Baker going to play? Obviously, without Chris Godwin, without Tristan Wirfs, is the Buccaneers offense going to be able to still be effective? I mean, you still got a lot of guys there. You still have Mike Evans, Emeka Ibuka, Bucky Irving, Rashad White, Sean Tucker, Sterling Shepard, Kate Otten. The list goes on and on. This Buccaneers offense, I think, still should be effective. And I think what you mentioned, I think whoever's going to win the turnover battle is going to have a huge key in this game. I think, again, like Thursday Night Football game, Bucky Irving never fumbles. That game's a win for the Bucs. So
they had to bleed like 1 minute.
Yep.
Too. I mean,
so it's very.
That should have been a Bucs win.
It should have been. It should have been a Bucs win, and I think that it's. I think we're looking at one. Any other more keys to the game before we predict?
Yeah, Charlie Heck, hold it down, Bubba.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's hope this is a good field goal year. Like I know it's for the Bucs sometimes. That's like it can be like a heads or tails.
Money McLaughlin.
McLaughlin's good, but like there was a couple times last year it was like what happened. So
he sometimes he got rattled.
Let's go at the gate crispy.
I think he had one of the best. I was gonna say one of the best field goal years for a Buck ever, but that's not really saying much, is it?
I mean, I think early in the season, maybe mid-season, there was a point where it got a little
for
bit.
For sure. So kickers are.
I mean,
missing's contagious for
that's
kickers.
one of the toughest.
We've taken away
jobs.
money from him more than once.
That's true. That
We've
is
taken
true.
Money McLaughlin away from him.
Let's have a consistent year of Money McLaughlin, especially to start.
I agree.
You start well, finish well.
Yeah,
run a fake with Riley Dixon.
Yeah, new punter. Looking to see
He's
some
a dog.
good punts. He was looking good.
He's an athlete. He's not like a punter. He's an athlete.
Uh-oh. I mean, maybe we can just sneak in Kyle Trask and see if we can run a fake punt with him. That's a USF reference if you guys don't know. Anyways, Joel, I'll start with you. What is your prediction for this game?
27-17 Bucs.
Wow, okay.
I think this is going to be a close game. I think, first game, kinks, you got to work them out. I think it might be a little low scoring, but I don't think that's going to take anything away from what this Bucs team's capable of. I predict the Bucs win 21-19.
The Bucs have won 4 season opening games in a row. They've won both season opening games against the Hot Bulls, and they're going to win 5. I really like this Bucs team. I am not as high on the Falcons as I think you are, Will. I'm actually a bit higher on the Panthers than I am the Falcons. I don't really love what they did on defense. I don't think that defense is going to be as improved as people are saying. I think Charlie Heck. I know Leonard Floyd, has some mileage in the league. He has some success, but I think in terms of pass rushers, we could see I'm not worried about him. In terms of pass rushers, we could see Charlie Heck matched up against. This is not a bad week for Charlie Heck to be in for Tristan Wirfs, so I don't think that's going to be a huge problem. I think the Bucs' running attack is going to get more established. I think the Falcons' run defense without Grady Jarrett is going to be very, very it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. So I think the Bucs win this game. I think they drop 30. I think they win this game 31-20. 31-20. The Bucs win this game. That's a sweep. We're all on the Bucs this Sunday, 1 p.m. Is it Fox? I think it's a Fox game. It's NFC, so it should be Fox. And 1 p.m. Football is back. It's exciting. You know what else is exciting? The Tampa Bay Rays. They just keep on. Once you're out, they just pull you back in. And I got to give credit to the guy sitting across me.
Told you guys, keep an eye on them until September 10th, September 11th, and look at what we got here.
Look at what we got
here.
We're
gonna be in the wild card by September 10th or 11th.
We really might. I'm checking in on the game right now. 4-0 lead for the Rays, which means if they can hold on, which is not a given with the Rays.
Yeah, come on, we're a new team.
If they can hold on, they will be 2 games out of the wild card.
7 wins in a row.
7 wins in a row. 2 games out of the wild card. And how have they done this? I think it starts with their guy, their cornerstone player, Junior Caminero. He, this week, has gotten to 40 home runs on the season and 100-plus RBIs. I think he's up to 102 at this point. Junior Caminero is only the second Ray in Rays history to record 40 or more home runs in a single season. The only other Ray to do it was Carlos Pena.
And guy from Moneyball?
What?
The guy from Moneyball?
Oh, boy. And Junior Caminero is only the 4th player in its age 21 or younger season to record 40 home runs in MLB history. This guy is special, and I think he's the one spearheading this Rays run.
Yeah, obviously, I saw somebody quoted, he's not a superstar in the making. He's a superstar right now. I forget who said that, but that really got me fired up. He's absolutely phenomenal, and I think how crazy it is how much better he's gotten throughout the season and all the stuff he's already done. And he's so young. And we have, he has such a bright future ahead. So you can't say enough about him, really.
Yeah, he is phenomenal. Give him the contract this offseason or face the consequences. Petr Zalipsky and
You don't.
crew.
You want him to be a Ray for life.
You
man.
do?
Just do it.
You do. That's what. Again, I'm going to say it until it happens. The best move the new ownership can possibly make as their first move is extending Junior Caminero. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's right there for you. With that being said, I think a lot of other things have gone right for the Rays. Starting pitching, really, really impressive in the last couple weeks. You look at the last Cleveland series. I know you lost 2 out of 3, but that wasn't due to the starting pitching. Drew Rasmussen looked good. Ryan Pepio, after kind of a string of we talked about the Blake Snell. Why is we not pulling Ryan Pepio? After those couple starts, Ryan Pepio's looked good. Adrian Hauser has had to put together some good starts after just pooping down his leg his first 2 starts as a Ray. And
Shane Boz, dude.
Shane Boz, first good start in a long time.
Yeah.
But
it was.
who I was most excited to talk about was the Seymour. Ian Seymour, his first 2 MLB starts, 10 innings, 1 earned run, 16 strikeouts in his first 2 games. All this dude does is come up and shove. And, we've had him in the bullpen. We've had him down in Durham. Now he's in the rotation. And I think he looks like a guy who might be like your Zach Littell, Zach Eflin role of slower velocity, but the finesse. I'm really excited to see Ian Seymour for the rest of this season and going into next year. It's good to have a lefty in that rotation coming in the last few weeks. But yeah, starting pitching's been really good. Bullpen's been solid.
Terrible. Kevin Kelly came back and did really good.
He really good.
Amazing.
Yes, and Garrett Clevenger, I really hesitate to say this because, like Will mentioned, usually when we give Rays pitchers credit, they are the ones that immediately will burn us in the butt for giving them credit. But Garrett Clevenger has not given up a run since the All-Star break.
Oh, man.
So that's pretty impressive.
We did this the last time with him, too. Now he's gonna
Dude,
kill
you know what
us.
makes me so mad is if Pete Fairbanks hadn't blown that last game in Cleveland, we'd be about to be 4 games over 500 right now. Really, really hurts that we lost that one. We had no business losing that one.
You want to know the real reason why we are as successful as we are? It's Carson Williams, man. We're 8-2 since we pulled him up.
Really,
Yeah,
the spark. I mean, and
we needed a spark, and we got Carson Williams.
yes,
Went
and he
on.
was looking so good that the Rays decided to put Hassan Kim on waivers. Now he's an Atlanta Brave. Any thoughts on
And he hit a
Hassan Kim?
home run. It really stinks because he had a great season last year with the San Diego Padres, and you're kind of just hoping that he would fix a lot of things wrong with our shortstop position. A lot of people are getting fed up with Taylor Walls, including I think probably all of us.
Yep.
And he just didn't do what you needed him to be, which was just a solid everyday guy who could mash and get on base, and he didn't do any of that. He was hurt until 4th of July, gets hurt immediately again. And,
I lost count how many times he got hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think the thing is why I think it was a smart decision for the Rays is Hassan Kim, he held the option for what he wanted to do next season, and I think you're probably not getting a better contract than $16 million from anywhere else from this season. I mean, he was hurt for basically all of it, and when he was in, it wasn't anything spectacular. So, by all means, he was going to take that $16 million from the Rays and probably Chris Bryant us. So, I think the Rays made the right decision.
I mean, masterclass the fact that they were able to get out of that, because I was kind of sweating bullets. I was like, man, we're stuck with this next year.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm
Especially
saying.
when you want Carson Williams to be your shortstop next year, coming up and having the full-time role. $16 million is too much to be paying a utility player. I think we've seen that Taylor Walls, the $1 million, or if he's going to argue for $1.5 million like you did last offseason.
What about the defense?
What about the
statistics?
defense? He's a great utility guy. I love him in the utility spot. So we can keep Taylor Walls in
Well,
that spot.
he's out for the
Rest in
Yep.
peace, yeah.
Tristan Gray's season. I've always liked Tristan Gray, but yeah, I think Hassan Kim it turned out to be a pretty poor pre-agency signing. You can't fault the Rays for trying to get what could have been a premier or a really, really above average shortstop for the limited price because he had the shoulder injury. But unfortunately, I think the Rays misdiagnosed exactly how long it was going to take for him to come back. Like, I think initially when they signed him, the rumor was May. And he really didn't end up coming back until June, and he just never looked like the guy that he was last season. I think, like Will mentioned, it's good to get off the $16 million, but You just hate to see that, but hopefully that $16 million. We always say this: if you're going to get rid of money and save money, let's use that money somewhere else.
Use it for good.
Especially with new ownership. We definitely have some needs that we're going to need to address in the offseason. But right now, we can't even really talk about the offseason because Rays are in the thick of it.
Can't talk about the
I'm in
off
the
season when we got to
thick
talk about the
of it.
postseason.
Amen. Josh Lowe, in his last 6 games, he's 7 for 23 with 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 2 doubles and a triple. 4 extra base hits in his last 6 games. He has a 1.029 OPS. Josh Lowe, his little resurgence has coincided with the Rays winning. That usually seems to be how it is. Maybe Josh Lowe can salvage his season.
Well, the
with
Rays
this last
could
part.
certainly use him helping out because I feel
Okay,
like
I mean, the offense has been crazy. Sorry. Keep going.
has hell frozen over? Because Chris Morel is 3 for 3 right now.
Chris Morel's been pretty good of late.
maybe the Rays were right. They just weren't ready to give up on them.
I
and
mean,
now
like
he's getting
think of
hot.
it as like a September call up, like a trade in the mid season. Like, all right, we got good Chris Morel now. Everybody get this last 3 games. Yandy Diaz is 8 for 11.
Wow. Yeah, I know he's 5 for 5. I think it was
5 for
last
5
night.
yesterday. And I don't see what his stats are for Thursday night, but even still,
Yeah, that's impressive. That is
like
very good.
everybody's firing on all cylinders. You hope it can continue through October. If it continues for a couple more weeks, I think we could sneak into the playoffs.
We really could. I mean, again, really, after this game, it looks like you're going to be 2 games back. Obviously, you're 2 games back of the Mariners. The Rangers and the Royals, as of right now, are still ahead of you, but it's all within a 2-game window. Just got to keep winning. I think there's 22 games after this one left, 22 or 23. You're going to have to win 14 or 15 of those 22 to make it in. But my hope, this has been my hope for the majority of the season, even when the Rays are struggling. We've seen the Rays go on a run like this before with this team in June and the end of May. This team has shown that they can put together 6 weeks of elite baseball. All they need is about 3. So it's definitely possible.
I've never been scared of the Blue Jays like my whole life here on Earth. I've never feared the Blue Jays. So I mean, if you ask me, I think we have a pretty easy schedule going forward for the
We're
most part.
5-1 against the Blue Jays this season too.
Tell that to this guy.
Yeah, but the problem is we played the Blue Jays before their resurgence. I don't
Blue
know.
Jays.
The Blue Jays have actually kind of started to teeter down
maybe
a little
bit. But
I mean,
they're still
they're
up
I mean,
there.
Boston and New York are on their butt now. So
but
what?
I don't know. Yankees.
I'm just saying
then-
like they're starting to close the
And
gap.
then the rest of the teams who are fighting in the wild card, a lot of them play each other. So if they all kind of end up 500 in that, like
Yeah, you do have to think about that
I like
because Royals and Guardians, I'm sure, will play each other.
they got,
and then
they got a
Rangers
couple
and Mariners.
Rangers. One of the teams plays the Guardians like 7 more times.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I mean, again, if they could split that, like that look pretty good.
yeah.
I don't know.
But I've been doing a lot of schedule watching of late. Like,
Tis the season.
I love when the Rays are this close to the playoffs. Like it tastes so good.
Yeah, I don't want to get disappointed, and I don't want to jinx them. I just think it's too.
I mean, even still, like Joe Madden's dumb and stupid and all of that, but like he does have a point about meaningful games in September are pretty fun.
They are.
They
They
are.
are fun.
But
They are fun. It's Stein September.
Nope.
Stein Timber.
Nope.
Ah. I tried.
It was off the dome. It was
Sepp Brenner.
good. Okay, I could get with that one.
September.
Sept Brenner. Sept Brenner. Kind of sounds like September. Sept Brenner.
Yeah.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
I don't know. Don't get your hopes up. Just
Don't get your hopes up, but just tune in. Just like peek in on a Rays game. Just see what's
Or-
going on.
Bucs football every Sunday until
I mean, we have a potential to have an exciting month here. Also, guys, who's going to the doubleheader?
I've definitely
There's going to be one.
It's September 21st.
All the
Nice.
powers of the earth will not stop me from.
Yeah,
doing
I'm
that.
planning on going as well. I'm excited. That's going to be like 1 p.m. Bucks game, 7 p.m. Rays game.
Oh, that's glorious.
Yeah.
Oh, and walking over on the bridge, it's
Yeah,
gonna feel
it's
so
awesome.
nice.
Yeah.
They better not
the only
be
thing missing
cheap.
is some like good restaurants around there. Like you got to kill some time there.
I know that's
Just eat it-
my thought is you just take the little trek over to International Mall.
Yeah.
It's a lot of walking.
That's true.
Because I assume that if you park at the Bucs stadium, you can just let your car sit there. I wouldn't want to make the mistake of leaving, then having to turn around, I got to pay for parking again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know, but it'll be fun.
Or you stay at International. Oh, but that's such a haul, dude.
It is a walk.
Especially at 4 p.m.
It is a walk. But
gonna
maybe
be
if you
brutal.
go together, one person can do a drive-in, like haul
That's
a
fair.
bunch. I don't know.
Fair.
I don't know.
I
We'll
think
see.
I think the movie park at Steinbrenner, like park kind of on that side strip there. Walk to the Bucks game, and then you're there at your car for football.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Either way, we're doing it. We definitely got to do it.
For sure.
Make some content, too.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways, that is episode 96. Rays and Bucks. They are Bucks football is upon us. Rays Renaissance is upon us as well. So if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below your Bucks record prediction, comment down below your score prediction for Bucks Falcons. If you are more interested on the Rays, talk to us. Are the Rays going to make the playoffs? Let us know in the comments on Spotify. Hit the 5 stars, hit the follow button. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on X. Bunch of content going out. Make sure you guys tune in to TB3 University. It should be out right when this episode is out as well. So if you're into USF, Florida Gators, FSU Seminoles, tune in to TB3 University. So with that, I'll wish you guys a go Bucks, a go Rays, and I hope you guys have a beautiful and blessed night.
Fire the cannons.